lads, how are we doing? Today we're doing a bit of hedge cutting, and we've got a shiny new hedge cutter to use. So before we get started, let's get out and have a look, shall we? Right, so as you can see, it's a Twiga Classic, it's a 560 Spearhead. So that means 560 means it's a 5.6 metre reach. This hasn't got the telescoping boom or the variable forward reach that some of the Spearhead models have. It's a classic, but it's a big upgrade over our old one. I say we don't need anything particularly fancy, but it's looks like a nice, well-made hedge cutter. I mean, I have used a 645 Spearhead before, and that was a decent machine. It's got some nice touches to it, like pallet tine holes there, so you can move it around with a loader. You know, it all looks well built, nice, decent bits of steel holding it all together. Your hydraulic pump for the flower lead is well protected. That seems a decent bit of kit. I'd say it hasn't turned a rotor yet. Well, not on a hedge anyway. So let's get this thing swung out and into work. Just before we do that though, the mounting arrangement is like so, which is quite a good arrangement. You've got these two stiff bars here that are adjustable with the different holes in, so that you rest you drop your, once it's hooked on, you drop your link arms down and then it all rests on that and all goes tight. So it's quite a nice, easy to put on system. You know, there's plenty of room to put it on, and it does hold it all tight. So plenty of room for the pump to get to the pump and that, all the valves there. So anyway, let's see what it does on edge. Right, so as you can see, we've got pilot controls in it, which is lovely. Proportional joystick. You got your head tilt buttons there. They're the swing buttons. That's for if you've got telescoping boom. There's a couple of buttons on the back of the joystick as well. Straps to the armrest there, so that's all good. So it runs on 540, so I've got it in 540 eco. Let's move that into there. Quite nicely on the New Hollands, you do get a hole this side as well, so you can lose your cables in there and keep the door, the rear window fully shut, which is handy. So we're in 540 eco because obviously you don't need a lot of power to run a edge cutter. Lovely smooth controls. We'll swing it around now into work. There's no slop when it when the head comes over here, you know, and when the centre of gravity moves over. Often on an edge cutter you'll get it sort of tilt over a bit, but that didn't move then at all. Boom out nicely like that. This one, good feature on this one is it's got reversible head, so I've already marked it up so that I know that up turns the flowers that way for edge cutting, and then you push that lever down and the flowers will turn the other way for verge cutting. So the flowers always stay sharp for edge cutting, you know, because the backs of the flowers are doing the hard work in on the verge. So, and you've got a little locking switch there that enables you not to switch it over when the flower's going in one. You can't swap directions until it's stopped, so that's a good little thing. So we'll click that in like so. I'll give it some revs. Yep, 540. Like that. And brake off. Try lower gear.
So I'm just going to get used to this. Obviously, not been out with it yet. Joystick's lovely and controllable, and now we haven't got a flat field, which is often the way, isn't it? Yeah, the reason we have got a new Hedgecutter is because our old bomford, if you look back a few videos, you'll see that sort of start this year I did a Hedgecutting one. See what that was like. I forget what it was, 450, something like that. The gearbox has failed on that, and we cannot get a new gearbox for them. They're obsolete. No one seems to do them anymore. So I mean, it was quite an old Hedgecutter. So we were left with no option really to chop it in and get a new one. What we've done, we've gone for one with more reach. Like I say, it's got the other options. I like the reversible head, which is, I'll just say, very useful. Keeps your flails sharp for hedge cutting. Now it's got the heavier flails on it as well over our old one. Pilot controls. So it's a dream to use. I mean, the old bomford was hard work. It was it got an individual lever for each function, and there wasn't a lot of feel on them, so it was hard to do fine controls on it. But this is just a fair step up. As you'd expect with a new machine, there's zero vibration with it at all. You wouldn't even know that head's running. See, the reach is a lot more useful. Now I'll be able to go from the outside here. I'll be able to cut the inside from the outside. You know, there's enough reach on the boom to angle over and edge the inside of the hedge. I'm no master hedge cutter, but you know, a bit like the plough, I like to do a good job. You know, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none. Careful because there's a chain link fence just in there, just this side of the hedge, and there's not much growth, but it just enables it just trim it back a tad, and it just neatens it up no end. But you've got to be careful. There's, like I say, concrete posts and chain link in there, so careful not to go in too much. Last thing I want to do is blooming hook some of that on its first outing. But lovely and controllable. It you know, it's super precise, which makes a big difference. You can be accurate when you got when you got the ability to control the machine precisely. Be accurate and do a good job, can't you? No matter what you're in. That is lovely and controllable. Very nice, well impressed. It's nice and easy to work parallel to the ground. Like when you're doing verge plane, you want to just slide your head in and out on the ground. It's very easy to do with this, because of course proportional electron joystick just makes life easy. Anyway, let's have another. We'll have a look at the head and that now. We're now that we've got it unfolded, we'll have another look around it. Turn everything off. Oh, there you go. I've got the P-tail off and everything. That's just winding down from being on. But you see, it's got the decent heavy Y flowers on them, so they got a bit of momentum behind them. They you know, they can take out fair chunks of bit of wood and leave a decent finish, like the hedge. That's just a couple of passes on top, a side up. I know it's not perfect, but it's a lot tidier. It's a lot tidier. Like I say, it doesn't help the ground's up and down all over the shop, so that always makes it tricky to get a nice level finish, but I'm happy with that. It looks good from afar anyway. But yeah, no, it's a standard 1.2 metre head. You've got a small amount of head adjustment on it. Hasn't got the full size bar on it, but you know, you can slide it out a bit more if you want. But yeah, pipes are all routed nicely. Good bit of guarding on it. Got LED lights on it, which is always handy. Yeah, there's not a lot else to it really. I mean, it's Hedgecutter. Like I say, you've got good access to all your valves there, your valve block and everything, your main pump. It's well thought out, you know. Spearhead been making Hedgecutters for a good old while. Yeah, happy with that. Like I say, it wouldn't normally be on this tractor, but this and the other one are essentially the same machine, so it's a good little test for it. There you go. Well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed that little vid, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ta!